and you're listening to Communities Live on Sheffield Live Radio 93.2 FM with me, Susie Casson, and T-Boy, and we're joined by Penny Raven from Sheffield Soup. Welcome, Penny. Thanks for coming in. Great to see you. I'm glad you got in the building okay. So first of all, what is Sheffield Soup and why is it called that?
So it's a live crowdfunding event, and very simply, people put forward ideas. There's no rules apart from you have to live in Sheffield and what you're doing must take place in Sheffield. And it could be something that you need a bit of money for, so starting up a business, a charity, a social cause, making an area nice, a bit of art. It can be absolutely anything. And then we have Sheffield people, and they are registered to vote, so everyone's invited to become a voter. All they require is a Sheffield postcode. They receive the applications and they choose their favourite four. I have nothing to do with it. I simply do a little old-fashioned tally chart to see who the shortlist is. They then come to an event and everyone donates a minimum of £5 on the door. They get a voting token. They get some gorgeous Silversmith soup. There's raffles, but they're free raffles. You get a raffle ticket when you come in. They listen to the pitches, listen to some music, listen to some very short adverts. So we allow people to bribe the audience because you've got a room full of lovely Sheffielders. So if you wanted to come on and promote the show, you would bribe them with sweets or cake. That's my personal preference. And you get a 60-second advert.
Great, it sounds fascinating.
Yeah, and the winner takes the pot, and we are coming up to number 9.
Fantastic. So what kind of ideas do people pitch?
Oh, they're amazing. Wow, right, so it's probably easier to just quickly run through a few that we funded. So a lot of people now are becoming aware of the Real Junk Food Project. The Real Junk Food Project Sheffield was our very first winner. And they were just recently starting out, and bless, they used to have this tiny little car to go and do their food waste intercepts, which are these huge containers. So they would do like intercept runs in like 10, 20, which is no good for an environmental concern. But also, they really needed the van because there was that much waste. And they were up against stiff competition. So there was a fun sports day for people with learning and physical challenges, because the sad fact is that many people die young because of their lack of mobility. However, there are some fun ways of getting people moving that doesn't exert too much on them, but at the same time keeps them healthy, and has chosen to extend for about 10 years. So they're proper, really good things. You're familiar, Under the Stars are friends of Sheffield Live. They won the second one. Their dream was to release their own album. And again, they fought off stiff competition, and the crowd basically said, yeah, go for it. But they got lots of help and support offered, and they released their album. I got a beautiful copy of it in the post about 4 months ago. But yeah, we want them to come back and play.
Yeah,
that would be amazing. Oh, what else? The Suit Works funded that, so that's for long-term unemployed men specifically. So local businessmen donate work attire, and this lovely lady called Vanda, she gives people a makeover. Now that sounds not as valuable as it is, but when someone puts on a suit and they've got their hair, they just suddenly look and feel worth going for that interview. And she's making a difference. Like, all she wanted the money for was, like for things like an iron and just some real basic things. And the crowd really got behind and supported. And she has just actually set it up as a social enterprise. So from this little idea, it's a big idea. She's created a social enterprise. Hopefully she'll be earning some wage from that in some way. It's, that's not the reason for doing it, but how amazing. She's just living a dream where she's able to help people and sustain herself. And there's so many. And And it's now become not about just winning the money, because all of the projects get so much support. Sheffield people are incredible. I know, when you're listening to the news, it can seem like it's such a bad place, full of such bad people. You come to Sheffield Soup and you just go, this does not relate to my timeline or all of the doom and gloom on the news. And these are the real people that the news is reporting on, and just... Yeah. It's wonderful. You should come along. If you need an injection of positivity, come along. It is, you get this silly, see how I grin? This silly grin is fixed on my face for about 4 days after. Great. And then whenever I talk about it.
And there is so much creativity in Sheffield, isn't there? So many ideas and people coming together. And like you say, you probably get feedback on an idea, wouldn't you, if you're looking for that?
Oh, they do. People are so generous with their help, with their connections. Like, there is never anyone. So they have a pitch pod, the shortlisted ideas, and they get to display, their concept, or if it's something that exists, any material that they've got. They ask questions. The crowd. It's a bit like a market, but you're going up to find the information rather than prod and feel a product. And they just end up with so many phone numbers, advice, people that are going to help them make this thing come true. And I had no idea it would be this well received or successful, or I look at the projects, especially when I see them on the news, on the ITV news. So the Real Junk Food Project, they opened the share house over Christmas. I just that's all of their hard work. They had already started when they came to Soup. But Joe will tell you, Soup was a moment that absolutely was a game changer because of all of the help and support.
Yeah, gosh, it sounds amazing. So the next one's coming up soon, Penny. Can you tell us where and when?
Yeah, 22nd of February. Doors are at 7. We've for those that come regularly, that we had a few people were struggling to get there on time, so we're changing the door time to 7, and we'll take the podium at 7:30.
Great.
It's at the Print House, which is on North Church Street. And yeah, you can reserve your tickets online at Eventbrite, and I recommend that you do that, because normally within a day or two before the tickets go, but it's a really strange situation. You have about 20 tickets available hanging around, but then all of a sudden they go. So my advice is to get in early, to guarantee your place there. We do have a wait queue on the door. So some people, because it's a non-committed reservation online, if someone doesn't turn up, we know by the numbers and the venue capacity, which it's most of the time at. So, yeah.
Fantastic. And is there still time to apply to pitch an idea?
There is. And you know what? Everyone says they've got loads of ideas. Everyone's got lots of ideas. It is such hard work. It's the hardest part is giving people and encouraging people to apply. It is real easy. You don't need a business acumen. You just need to be able to get things done. And the applications close on Saturday at midday.
Fantastic. And besides pitching, is there other ways you can get involved with Sheffield Soup?
Yes, we need volunteers. It's so we set up and pack down the hall. It is physically demanding. There's just that whole... It's really beautiful because a bunch of people that are sometimes all new to each other come together. We get the room all set out. It's done really professional. We've really worked hard on the vision of how it would feel. They'll get lots of experience of event management. There's all different ways, and I'm looking to set up a community journalist little group, but I want it to be everyday Sheffielders so that they can follow the progress and those individual real lives that we've all somehow magically touched by, turning up on a night on a Wednesday every couple of months.
Fantastic. So it's 2 weeks today.
Yep.
And where is it again?
So it's at the Print House. The closing for applications is this Saturday midday. It's a real simple form. Don't think too much about it. And then I do pitch training. So each person that makes it through, including a backup pitch, They all get an hour's intense coaching with me, which, yeah, I make them be really mean to the audience because I just love people seeing them. This sounds awful. I mean this honestly, audience, in the nicest possible way. I like seeing the audience cry. So and it's often every single soup. Actually, there's one that will make you cry, one that will make you laugh.
Wow, it sounds amazing. So how can people find out more, Penny?
If they go on to www.sheffieldsoup.com, everything they need to know is always on the latest blog post. So they'll get there. It's like the simplest website ever. And people often go, I can't find anything. I go, no, it's all there, everything that you need. So applications to pitch, apply to volunteer, apply to judge, apply to do the bribes, get involved, offer support. What I'm also looking to do is do a super soup. So we have no idea how we're going to do this. I'm getting a good team together, and I want people with vision and that are doers and that can like connect people. Can you imagine how amazing and life-changing it would be if we had, instead of a £500 to an £800 pot, a £15,000 pot? So that's my next big goal. I'm not going to achieve that by myself. The steering team will help, but we need, like we're not using up our skill bar, but we're using up our time bar. And do you know what? People are so amazing and friendly in the city that I know they're out there listening.